So before we start, just a quick note, again, to not do anything too topical, nothing too, anything that puts a date on it.
Of course.
Just keep it nice and kind of vague, I guess, is what I'm saying. So just to keep.
So I bet that Pro Jared wishes that he was doing a hashtag sex strike right now, huh? You heard of that? You heard of Pro Jared?
I did, in fact, hear of it.
Yeah,
yes.
heard of the hashtag sex strike?
I may have visited the hashtag. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow.
I might have decided that I'm participating in it.
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. You're posting a lot about it.
Yeah, I'm on the top tweets.
Wow.
Yeah.
Your hashtag sex strike. You didn't tell me this.
No, I assumed that you would be joining in solidarity as a good feminist ally, actually.
Yeah, now that we're on the topic, I should tell you I became kind of a eunuch.
While you... kind of a volcel.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm very much into I'm just a really big I'm not quite sure what it was for, but I'm a really big fan of Mandy Moore.
No, okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
And I'm actually just looking that up, and she had nothing to do with this.
Oh.
Wait, who was in the hashtag sex strike? Melissa Milano.
That's the one.
That was it.
The charmed one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm a huge fan of her.
I'm a huge Charmed fan.
Yeah.
Love the sister show.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Anyway, that's why we won't be having sex for the foreseeable. So that's fine.
That's fine. That's okay. I was kind of over it.
Agreed.
I was reading a horoscope yesterday, and it just kept telling me how like cancers are just like asexual as shit. Isn't that weird?
All of them?
They kept saying it. They really kept driving that home. They were like, well, we know that your shriveled little cock isn't worth anything. So, and it's like, why are you saying this? Wait, because
they said it specifically about cancer sons with your specific ascending sign, actually.
Yeah, halfway through the article, they just started referring to me as Mitch directly. So I was like,
Which is weird because it was in a newspaper.
Yeah, it's a physical print.
Yeah.
It was hot off the press.
Sold all over the town.
Jesus. Yeah, I've never...
national, not even a local, if you can believe it.
God, I've never heard that before until recently. And I go, well, I guess, sure, why not? Fucking whatever.
Yeah. I guess if the neuropaper astrologist said it, then it must be true.
Then it must be,
and
yeah.
I believe them.
Since then, yeah, I've kind of been having trouble. I've kind of been having trouble in that department. Hey, welcome to All the Space in Between. My name is Mitch.
I am Billy.
And we got episode 16.
We are on episode 16 this week, yeah.
Episode 16. This tween is...
no longer a tween.
Yeah, okay, how about this? This is a rhyme. 16. Okay. No, hold on this. Hold on, let me get it. I'm really workshopping here. This tween? Right. No. 16. What rhymes with that? Mitch. This, it fits Mitch.
Spleen. Mm-hmm.
Big jeans. Mitch, please.
Welcome to our first sponsor, it's Jinko Jeans.
Yeah. And our second sponsor is rhymezone.com. Episode 16.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. We're 16 years old.
16 years old, a 16-year-old little podcast baby boy. Mm-hmm. What were you doing at 16? Because 16 was a really coming of age for me. It was a time of that I was really coming into my own, Mm-hmm. I was full blown wearing eyeliner. I was looking emo as hell. I was hanging out. I was going downtown. I was going to parties. I was meeting people. I was dating. I was doing a bunch of stuff like that. What were you doing at 16?
I was swinging rapidly in the other direction.
Really? 16
was the year that I tried to be regular.
Oh, why?
Well, rather it was more the 6 months that I tried to be regular.
But 16 is such an age that you were like that's the teen age.
Listen, I had a crush.
Oh, on a normie or something?
Not on a normie. Like all right, I didn't go regular, but I went what we called at the time indie, which was a big departure from what I called at the time emo, you know? Even though I know the actual definitions of emo and indie stylistically are very fucking similar, but
Yeah.
But what I mean is I went from being like all black, studded belts, spiky hair, kind of androgynous looking, to the kind of indie where you kind of wear those little shoes with the ribbons on and like a bead necklace with a knot in it.
And you're wearing kind of a dress with a big belt in the middle of it.
Yeah, and then a cardigan over the top.
Yeah, and also one of those big scarves and giant sunglasses.
Yes.
And layered, layered but natural colored hair.
No, I had red hair still at the time.
Okay.
I wasn't prepared to give up the red hair.
Now, I'm thinking that emo, and this is what I'm saying, because for people listening, they're not going to know what the fuck, we're who cares? But
yeah,
indie and emo and the term hipster and all of that it was just a different implication.
It was.
In 2000 and whatever,
Yeah.
For me, that was 2006. For you, it was 2008 or 9. Yeah.
9, 10. Yeah.
So they just meant different things at the time. And indie kind of it was adjacent to emo, but not quite. It was like, if you imagine you took all of the colorful characteristics, or most of them, out of scene. You took
I just muted them all.
if you just gave them earth tones, right?
Yeah. And kind of brushed out the hairspray a bit.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's. It was still heavy in wearing many bracelets. It was still wearing ridiculous things. It was still at the end of the day, it was still being pretentious.
Yeah.
So when you say you swung
was.
to it being normal, it's still indie for me is still very pretentious.
It's still alt. It's still alt and it's still pretentious, but I was leaning far more towards kind of gothy metal side of emo, like very my chem looking. And I kind of swapped in my black jeans for blue jeans and my band hoodies for like cardigans, basically.
Right.
And tried to fit in with my new group of friends that I'd ran away to after high school.
And how long did that last?
It lasted maybe for like about 3 months, I think, maybe, until one of them kind of pulled me aside and they actually said to me, bless his heart, Stephen Podmore, beep out his name.
Don't say shit like that and then tell me to bleep out his name. You're adding extra work for me. No, I'm leaving his name. You said it.
That's fine. He actually pulled me aside and was like, hey, we know that you don't usually like dress like this. Like, you can dress how you used to. And I was like, oh.
Wow, I would be.
I felt very called out. But
I would be so offended. I would seriously just be like, okay, time to liven up this outfit with a gun in my mouth. and then they'll be like, no, we believe you. And no, I would be fucking. That's my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
That's my worst nightmare at 16 is for someone to be like, hey, you're a little...
We know that you're weird. You're not really fooling us. We've seen your pictures on Facebook, okay? You can take off all the flannel now.
That's funny. Yeah, no, to me, it'd be like, at least here, I think things travel in waves and stuff like that. When indie first sort of hit here, it was just a small departure from emo. It was just like my trajectory from where I was going at the time. It was just a little more muted. It was just, because I definitely wasn't quite at 16. It was more 17. But years go by so slowly then that it's I had 3 different versions of myself in 2006. So it to go from a little juggalo goth and then to go from emo wasn't a huge jump, but it was still a jump. The clothes are tighter. There's makeup. The hair is shorter. It's layered. It's being dyed wacky colors. And then to go from there to indie and to dress like a little hipster felt much more. It was a much shorter leap. It was just like, okay, the jeans are not black and they're just kind of like, blue girls' jeans with a white belt and a black hoodie. And it was still very emo to me. It was just I stopped wearing makeup. I had a little bit of scruff. My hair was still kind of layered and straightened sometimes. I'd wear these big girl sunglasses, you know. It was the shit, man. I miss that a lot. I'm trying to bring a little bit of that back, to be honest.
I would love for you to bring it back. I really want to see you in a pair of little like bootcut girl jeans.
I miss those little, you know, and they're like kind of bootcut. Sometimes they were even a little flary at the bottom.
A little bit flared.
Just a tiny bit flared, but they were just girls' jeans with white, with like a white belt. Oh my gosh. Yeah, no, that I would definitely consider that still being alternative in some way.
Definitely.
Because that for sure here, like that wasn't normie shit.
No.
You still saw somebody like that at a coffee shop and you're like, they listen to the Faint. Like, you know that they listen to Saddle Creek Man, and now we're going to go to the Che together, and we're going to go to some terrible little show.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we were all still, it was still alt. We still weren't like the lot who were like going to clubs and whatever, and we were still going to shows instead of clubs, and we, you know, were all very into the Killers, I guess.
Right.
Which is what indie was in England. One of the biggest bands that existed. But for me, it was a departure from being less goth, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah, you were more into, because I seen pictures of you looking kind of metal.
Yes.
That's funny. That's at least a little funny.
I went way harder into the metal after this brief stint as an indie person, actually.
Really?
Yeah, once they kind of were like, yeah, we know, I was like, okay, well then I'm just gonna start wearing like torn up fucking municipal waist shirts and like leopard print jeans then.
What do you think of metal as kind of a here's a hard and fast take.
Okay.
Metal is a cool genre, but it also has there's risk in it. There's risk in also like it also has the potential of being one of the most normie genres. Agree or disagree?
Agree.
Okay,
hard agree.
There we go.
Yes.
Hard agree. Yes.
Yeah.
I know so many fucking kids in high school that were just there was nothing to them other than they're like, dude, I'm a fucking metalhead. I'm a metalhead. It's like, you are a boy named Kyle, and you are nothing else. you are gonna grow out of this so soon, and you're gonna spend the rest of your life thinking you were the most alternative person for listening to Metallica.
Yeah, I think that this is my theory here that I'm spitballing. It's because like when people think of like, okay, they're like, okay, I want to do something counterculture. What's and it's the first and oldest counterculture thing that they can think of. It's the most established, you know, being into metal, been around since the fucking 70s, you know.
Yeah.
So like, oh yeah, I'll be a metalhead.
Yeah, I'm gonna be a metalhead.
And I say that as an ex-one, so you know.
That's funny. Yeah, you said you were actually pretty into headbanging.
I was, and I was so into headbanging that I gave myself a complex that it was making my neck too thick.
Yeah, you told me that too. You were a little self-conscious as a teen that you were like, oh my god, it's the headbanging. I'm going too hard.
Yeah, and then I just laid down in bed for 5 days not moving. I've got to fucking rest.
I gotta get it back to where it was.
I get my slender swan neck back.
I like your neck.
Thanks.
I think it's good. I think it's quite good.
I only do the occasional headbang nowadays.
I've never...
enough to keep it strong.
Even in my youth, I've never headbanged and it not given me an immediate headache.
Oh god, I used to do it so hard that the next day I would be like, it would feel like I was in a car crash.
I couldn't even do it enough to hurt my neck because every time I would headbang my head, my brain would hurt. It would actually feel
from it
like
hitting against my skull.
Yeah, it felt like a headache. So I'm just like, okay, either I'm too much of a genius with a big old brain, which was, it turns out I went to the doctor, that was the case. But
that was true.
Yeah. Or it was that I'm not cut out for this lifestyle. And I guess both were true. But especially the first thing.
Especially the thing about me having a giant, smart, big brain.
Have I talked about it on the show before?
I don't think you've mentioned how scientists
no,
proved that you had a smart big brain.
Yeah, I went to the doctor, and as soon as I walked in, they were just like, "Oh my god!" And everyone starts kind of. It was weird. They weren't falling at my feet, but they were taking a knee. I'm a medical marvel,
They
actually.
were bowing their head in reverence. So they weren't clapping, but they were praying to me.
Right,
So
yeah.
their hands were together in that sense.
Clapping would seem like a little like disrespectful almost. Like do you clap at the Pope? I guess people do. Do you
People do.
fuck. Okay. Do you clap at like the Dalai Lama? Do you applaud him? No. You give him daps. That's what they
You give him spuds. Yeah.
What the fuck is a spud?
Spud is when it's like a fist bump.
I've never heard that be called a spud. You guys are way too obsessed with potatoes over there. You guys can't stop thinking about them. Give me a spud. You wish someone would give you a spud. That'd be like a little birthday gift.
You don't say give me a spud, you say spud me.
No, that sounds. You know what? You better not be saying that to others. That counts as
Are you
cheating.
saying spud me to other men? Yes or no?
Be honest. Are you starting other podcasts where you're telling them to spud you? No, it's
God.
daps.
So often I'll say something to you and then only realize like a split second after I said it just how ridiculously English it sounds.
Yeah, or that it's just dumb. Because you'll have a lot of takes like when we're just hanging out that you're just like what'd you say to me before? You were like feet are the same as hands.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, in what way? Because I was like, no, I would never. There was something about like eating something that you'd stepped on, or maybe eating something with your foot or something like that. And I go, no, feet are dirty.
Well, actually, I believe it was just having the foot in your mouth.
Was it really?
Yeah.
Was it sexual?
I don't think so. I think we were maybe it was.
I don't think it was.
It was just about having a foot in your mouth, though. And I was like, yeah. Same as hands. And you were like,
that's what it was. Yeah, we were joking about
the same as hands.
We were joking about something like that, and it was about you putting your foot in my mouth, and I go, yeah, I'd fucking never. And you're like, why? It's the same as putting like fingers in your mouth. And I go, you think that putting a fucking foot in someone's mouth is the same as putting fingers in your mouth? Yeah, you walk around every time you go to the bathroom, you wash your feet. That's what you do. You know, like those feet that you're walking on all day that are constantly. My feet are touching something right now. They're on the floor. You know, the floor, the thing that you're not supposed to eat off of. They're touching that. Yet the same.
Yes.
The fuck? Get out of here.
And then as soon as she started arguing against me, I was like, well, I don't really have a leg to stand on here. I just said it.
Yeah, it was a hard and fast take, and I guess I could think about this a little more. I guess I can't stand
by it.
That's really funny. Feet are the same as hands. It's the same as putting a hand in your mouth. And I'm like, well, even that I wouldn't want to do without washing. So
yeah, I'm not
definitely
just having a raw hand in there.
A raw little salty hand. Yeah.
No, excuse you. Use protection. Put condom on that hand.
Put a dental dam on me, and then you can
you do whatever.
Cram your whole fist in my mouth. I don't care. Do we have anything planned for this show? Are we just gonna chat?
Are we just gonna reveal our disgusting private conversations? We have one question, I believe.
We do have something here. Are we gonna get into it now or later?
I actually feel like it might be a good topic segue into the question.
I'm skimming it, and it is about something a little bit sexual.
Okay. So if you're under 16, please tune out. Goodbye.
Yeah, please.
Have a good week.
And you know what's funny is that we specifically in a recent episode, I was just I had made a comment that was something like I only want people that are 18 and up to be listening, and I understand that people who are under that age are going to be listening because that's just how the world works, but don't let me know. And since then, like three separate people are just like, I'm 9 and I love the show. And I'm like, why would you tell me this? Like, why?
Please turn it off.
Why would you you heard the episode? Why would you say something like this? So many super young people are just like, I'm like literally like one was like 12. 13 or 14 or something, right?
Yeah.
And they were just like, I really love the show. I just really want to be friends with you. And it's sweet and stuff like that. But here's the thing. Don't.
Here's the thing. That would be weird.
It'd be weird of me. Yeah, no, it's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So that's weird. Anyway, here's an email we got called Slave Trade. It goes a little something like this. Dear Mitch and Billy, They did say Mitch and Billy, but they spelt both of our names very wrong on purpose.
So wrong.
Super, super wrong here. But they did say Mitch and Billy, which kind of tickles me. Makes me feel good about myself. It says, Dear Mitch and Billy, I'm writing in because my sister refuses to ask for help, and I think you guys are capable of helping her in this time of need since you seem to have experience with freaky situations.
Fair.
So, my sister got a DM from a random dude who, according to Instagram, lives in the same region we do. A look on his profile showed that a few of our friends, only female, already follow him. My sister accepted the request and started chatting with him since she needed a distraction from studying. I'm going to stop right there. We get a lot of questions like this, right? I've seen a lot of stuff like this online, and it's just funny to me when people will include little things like, so she accepted the friend request and started chatting since she needed a distraction from studying. You don't have to justify why she did it. Like,
you don't have to justify why, and that's a bad justification.
It's also not a good justification, as if we're supposed to see this and nod our hands and be like, yeah, sometimes you need a distraction from studying. So instead of YouTube, instead of talking to your friends, you accept the friend request from a stranger and start DMing them. It's as if it's like a normal thing to do. It's not. It was a bad decision. Not a bad decision, but it was a decision that you don't make because of studying.
Yeah, the studying did not cause this.
Yeah, like I had a stomach ache, so I joined Grindr. Like, no, you were horny. And then I joined. Like, that's what the fuck. That you fix one by doing not that.
Yeah, that's not the answer.
That's not the distraction that you need. But it's funny because people always sort of slip little things like that in there because we're supposed to be like, oh yeah, sometimes when I'm studying, that's what you got to do. You don't got to do it. She did do it.
No.
And I don't think it's a bad choice because you meet a lot of interesting and cool people online, but you also meet a lot of weirdos, and we'll jump into the weirdo here. A few messages in, he asks my sister, hey, this might sound a little weird, but please don't block me for this. Do you want me to be your slave? At that point, my sister just stopped responding. So, here's my question. Do you think it's acceptable to just start owning someone because you received a DM? And what would you do with your very own slave? Love the show, even though you talk about shit and vomit a lot. Greetings from Germany, this person's name. It's funny that they're from Germany and they don't like the shit and vomit talk.
Yeah, I believe we charted in Germany specifically because of those things.
For that, so yeah.
Take that.
Yeah, there's a primetime slot on one of their radio things because we fit right in. They also added a PS at the bottom. So, as I finished typing this mail, my sister came into the room and told me she politely turned down the offer, but it seems like she was too polite in her decline because he just keeps messaging her and wants to get to know her. So the first thing is block this guy, right?
Yeah. I mean, generally, whenever a random guy says, "Hey, this might sound a little weird, but please don't block me for that," you don't need to read the rest of the message.
You gotta block.
You can assume that if he has to qualify it with, "Please don't block me," then you should block him.
Then what he's about to say, like, warrants blocking.
Yes, it would be understandable to block him for.
His hands are shaking. He's hard. He's quivering, really. So don't entertain whatever he's about to say.
No,
also, we have no idea how old this person's sister is, and I'm really hoping they're 35.
God. Like I'm really imagining they're. Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming they were studying for their PhD.
Yes.
Actually. Yeah. At least their masters.
God. Yeah, I don't like to fucking think about this person being young, getting a weirdo DM.
No.
Weird DMs though, we both get them.
Oh yeah. Oh, so many of them. I mean, it's so impossible to just be a girl or a girl presenting or interpreted type person online and not get these messages. Yeah, and it's just I don't know. God, men are bad.
Yeah, I stopped trying to be polite about that a long time ago when I have to roll my eyes so hard whenever people are just like, well, not all men are bad. It's like, okay, but we're not talking about all men. We're talking about a generalization, and the generalization is that men are weird, and they'll DM weird things, and they'll just, it's maybe it's a societal thing, maybe it's this or that, but it's my first advice to give is like, hey, be a little cautious. That's all I'm saying. Be just a little bit fucking cautious.
Yes.
Because before you know it, you'll have a guy in your DMs, and during the very first conversation, when you're just trying to study, is them asking if you want them to be your slave.
Yeah. I love that the question in this email is do you think it's acceptable to just start owning someone because you received a DM?
That's a funny way to word that. Yeah, I like that.
It's like, anyway, is it acceptable for her to accept? And it's like, okay, it's unacceptable for him to ask.
Yes.
So
I would say
that's
that based
thing.
off of that little conversation that they had, and then because it obviously weirded her out when she just stopped responding at that point. That's never a good thing.
Yes.
So let's say where do we draw the line here? Let's look at this realistically. There is a person, you're DMing them, let's say you're two consenting adults, and very early on in the conversation they were like, hey, by the way, do you want me to be your little slave? I don't think that's inherently inappropriate if the conversation was leading there. Maybe two people are into that. There's nothing wrong with being into that.
No, of course not. But the line is that if the conversation was previously not flirtatious or sexual in nature at all, and then all of a sudden they're like, hey, mind if I force my fetish on you? It's
yes.
like, oh.
That's what's
yeah,
fucking
I kind
weird
of
about
do.
it. That's what's that's the unnecessary sort of a nature and as they call it, DMing boys, is that sometimes that'll just happen. I'm sure a lot of people listening, a lot of the people listening here have gotten the old unwarranted dick pic. What is the word I'm looking for? Unsolicited.
Unsolicited.
Yes.
Yeah. What's the worst situation you think I've received an unsolicited dick pic in?
Like,
because it's bad.
Oh gosh, it had to do with I know I heard a. Is it the one of you at a funeral?
I was at my friend's wake.
That was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone 3 rows down from you actually airdropped it to you
as a fucking joke. Yeah. God. Yeah, I was at my friend's wake and I just get like out of nowhere this guy sending me a pic of his very disgusting dick. It wouldn't have mattered if it was a nice dick though, because it still was unsolicited and I was at a wake.
Yeah.
So
you weren't just going to be like, oh, excuse me.
I'm at a wake. Why did you think this was in any way appropriate? And they're like, I'm so sorry, I didn't know. And it's like, how could you know? We weren't having a conversation.
You didn't ask.
Like,
that's how you didn't know. That's the how what's the success rate in that? I really do think, and I've been saying this for a long time, I really do think that in the realm of unsolicited dick pics, because now we're getting on some other shit. This guy didn't do that, but no. it happens every day. It happens all the time. It's happening so much as I'm saying this. It's happening so much as I'm fucking saying this right now. In the realm of things like that, it should be looked at as skeevy and creepy and weird, and you should be punished for it legally in the same way that you would flashing somebody in public. You should be able to take that information and go to the authorities and say, at very least, charge this man. At very least,
fine him and give me the money.
Do something like that, because if you were to walk around at a bus stop or do something like that, if you're alone with somebody and you just flash them your junk, you're going to jail. Because they didn't want to see that.
Or you're at least getting your comedy career cancelled for half a year.
Excuse me. His career was cancelled for a whole year. It was 12 months. Yeah, you're getting in trouble for that, right? You're getting like into some fucking trouble, and you're kind of looked at as kind of a leper of society. You're like, ugh, that guy's fucking weird. But then people just kind of roll their eyes at it on the internet, being like, another dick pic. It's weird. It's a weird thing to do. And I guess the only parallel that I'm drawing is that this person very quickly jumped into being like, anyway, here's my fetish.
Yeah. It's got like similar energy to guys who will just respond to girls' selfies with like step on me, heart eyes, and it's like, You're shrouding this as a funny compliment, but
Is that as bad though? Like if somebody worded that's bad?
I think it's a bit bad.
Yeah. So like
it just skews me a little bit.
Right, totally. But like if somebody had like a side account where they did that, like would they, I don't know, lose their music career for it?
A side account where they only reply "step on me."
That's what I do, and that's what, bad. So suddenly I'm the bad guy.
Yes, actually,
no, obviously I'm
definitely
joking.
You are. Okay.
Hey, you know what a funny thing is? The idea of a Finsta, you know, was this thing that I had only like heard about in the last year or two. You know, I was like, oh, is that what people do? Is that what like celebs or people online do? I guess that makes sense. And now like everybody has like 9 of them. Not me or you. I don't think.
No. I do not have a Finsta. No.
But it's funny and it's a little adorable because originally when I heard about it, it's like, oh yeah, people with a big presence online and then they don't want to just, and then there are people who just, these aren't Finstas, they're just second Instagrams. They're just side accounts. They're like, you don't want your, like, does your mom follow you on Instagram? You don't want them to know that you drink or something? Like what is what is this? And it's like kind of adorable to me. It's just to be like, oh, is that what this is now? That's not what I thought it was. I thought this was like Drake trying to step to strippers or something. You know, like isn't that what it was for?
Yeah, it's just like your on the down low Instagram account,
right?
Is what it thought it was. Or if you're relatively well known for not posting butt pics, and you might have one where you post butt pics.
Yeah, you just
for a select audience.
Fire them off there. Yeah.
But yeah.
What do you think about side social media accounts and stuff like that, where people just kind of use them to vent? Now, I'm wording this in a way that, of course, people are going to be like, it's fine. But I have kind of a take on it.
Okay, I think I've had them before, and I think that if your main account is a professional account,
that's what I was going to say.
Then, yeah, you need a side personal account to vent on to just a select few friends. If you got so many people following you on your like work account, it's like, yeah, I don't want to fucking
vent there. Yeah, I'm trying to sell things there.
Exactly.
That's my career. I'm not going to vent about this other shit there.
I'm trying to capitalize on my personality in this gig economy. I can't expose my feelings on there.
Of course not.
Yeah, then I think it's super useful. But usually I don't see those people having side accounts. The people I see having side accounts, just people who have like 30 followers anyway.
Yeah. They only have a little bit of followers anyway, and they're like, these people can't know I'm horny. And it's just like, well, I think I'd argue that they can, and also I'd argue that I think I always just like to suggest that people spend less time on social media, period. It'd be like, whoa, you got another account for this shit? You're always on this shit. And the toxic nature that I see in these like side accounts is that they're mostly used to talk shit on other people. So they're these like private accounts, and they are followed by like your close friends anyway. I'm like, just talk to your friends. You know, just chat with your buds about this thing.
Just phone them up. Have a vent. Yeah.
I'd also, I would also suggest taking it off of social media in general. Just getting a little diary, man. Things like that are timeless. Things like that are good.
That's pretty old school.
Yeah. Let's go back to this original thing, though. There's nothing wrong with, fellas, who hasn't wanted to be a slave at one point, right?
We can all agree on that.
We're all adults here, even though we're not, but oh my God, I'm only speaking to the adults here.
Yes.
There's nothing wrong with having fetishes. There's nothing wrong with anything like that. But when you're kind of cold DMing people and adding them randomly and you don't know them in person, you've never really spoken to them, and then your first conversation with them, they're like, hey, this might sound a little weird, but please don't block me for this, but I'm actually kind of hard right now. It's like, it's fucking weird. Don't do that.
Yeah, don't fucking do that. Don't do that. Like, first conversation, like, nah. And don't initiate that type of shit. Don't spring it on someone. This is bad etiquette.
Yeah, it's not good. It's really, really not that good. Okay, so the other part of this question. So here's my question. Do you think it's acceptable to just start owning someone because you received a DM? For many people, yeah, chase that fucking fetish, chase that money, especially if you're like a sugar baby. Yeah, own some dudes. And what would you do with your very own slave? Now, here's what I'm going to say. Probably like chores. Probably kind of veer away from anything sexual and just be like, I really need help assembling these newsletters, and it would be so hot if you can lick these stamps. You know, like that's what I would do with it. And probably I wouldn't have them. I was gonna say him because I guess that's what I'm imagining, but I wouldn't have him cook for me. But I'd have him clean. And I'd just pretend like I got off on that.
I shan't be consuming food that he's touched.
No, fuck no. The dirty little hands. Don't know where they've been.
Okay, here's my problem. I've had this offer before.
I can imagine, absolutely. One. That's actually how I hit you up the first time.
Yeah, when I'm in America, I actually spend my whole time with you just kind of cutting my toenails.
Yep.
Yeah. No, here's my problem, is that I wouldn't want anyone in my house who was like, I don't want you to clean my toilet if you're getting off on cleaning my toilet. I'm like, no, that's grosser to me than having a dirty toilet.
That's true. That's very true. That's like, okay, I want to reap the benefits of you wanting to do shit for me, but I don't like that you get off on it, and I don't want you to know more about me. Nah. I don't want you to know about my personal life or like get my number or like know where I live or some shit, because you're gonna like, you're gonna, I don't know. I don't think that fetishes are wrong. I think that with these...
And obviously, I mean, if you're a pro-dom, fucking do it. Of course, make that your job, get your money. But like, me personally, I was just like, no thank you.
But like, you would actually respond and you would say no thank you?
Well, no, I don't think I responded.
Oh, okay, yeah.
In my head, I was like, no thank you.
Yeah, because my suggestion was just going to be block this guy.
Yeah.
If he makes you uncomfortable, he's just a stranger. Block him. He'll
yeah, and honestly, it's like, and the PS to this is like, oh, well, she wasn't polite enough because he keeps messaging her. He will keep messaging her forever. It doesn't matter how polite she is and how often she says that she's not interested. You gotta block him.
You just gotta block this guy.
You gotta block him. Block button's there for a reason, and it's this. Yeah. This is the reason.
So tell me more about these DMs that you'd get. That's, were they taller than 5'7"?
I don't know. That's funnily enough not the measurement that they would usually include. It wasn't the height usually that they were bragging about.
That's actually funny as shit. Okay, so if a person is just like, ooh, so how big are you? And I respond with, never told anyone this, but I'm 5'7". I'm actually kind of embarrassed. It feels good to say it out loud, but yeah, I'm an even 5'7". A few weeks back, I put on a hat and almost screamed because of how fucking short I look. I'm 5'7". Does that do anything for you? Am I useful now?
Luckily enough, it does kind of do something for me.
That's funny, yeah, but you're 4'7", so that's...
Excuse you. We measured me, and I'm 5.5 inches.
I don't
maybe
even think you were the half.
Day.
I would like to say that I'm like, yeah, I say that I'm 5'7", but it's just like I haven't measured in a long time. And then we measured, and I was exactly 5'7" without a centimeter above or below. And I'm like, I'm the exact height that people fucking make fun of on Twitter.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
I'm the same fucking height. I'm not 5'7.5".
Yeah, this is targeted actually towards me.
This is hate speech at this point, I think.
Yeah. And if you can believe it, they actually mentioned it in that horoscope that we were talking about.
Yeah, they were like, all right, you withered cock little 5'7". Fucking sad little musician. And I'm like, oh my God, horoscopes are so real.
Here's the thing. I love a short man. I love a tall woman. Those are good. Those are both good.
Tall women are good, and I don't want to say that make you feel any certain way, but I just feel like tall women don't get enough.
I just feel
love.
like they should be supported.
Yeah, I hate that. Like, I used to get really offended when I was on Tinder, and not offended like I would say anything or anything like that, but I was always just I fucking mansplain something to them.
Message them passive aggressively about it.
Oh, sorry, I'm not fucking 7 foot or whatever. No, but there's a lot of profiles on Tinder where the girl is basically like, don't message me if you're under 6 foot. Mm-hmm. And at first I was just like, geez, what a line to draw there, because, you know, there's blah, 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 whatever. But in a society where this person, and they always usually are, taller than other girls. So they want somebody taller than them so they don't feel, I think it makes them feel like masculine or something when they're tall. It makes them feel, it just makes them feel weird when they're the same, or like they can't wear heels because then suddenly they're taller than their guy or their partner or anything like that. I guess especially in like a boy-girl relationship, you know?
Yeah.
And I don't like that. I think that tall women are the shit. I think they're super cool.
They are. They're sick, and I love them, and I wish they would wear towering heels all the time. Yes,
And just
it's good.
fucking tower over me. And while they're up there, just step on me a bit.
Oh, God.
And fuck it, if I became really small and she ate
If
me...
they could kind of step on, like, I don't know, like a fish or something.
Yeah, if you any kind of like gross food, if you can mash like tuna between your toes, that'd be fine. Do you think it's like, okay, in the realm of liking getting stepped on, it's tall women, right? Tall women are the ones that do the stepping more than anything. Like, would
Generally, and they don't deserve that.
yeah, because if you stepped on anything at all, it would just be comical, right?
It would be at most a light massage.
Yeah, it wouldn't do much.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. What about it?
I just think it's funny that you're short, I guess.
Yeah, I suppose it is funny. But when me and you stand next to each other and look in a mirror, we look normal height compared to each other.
That's true. We look
because we're both
relatively
too short.
we look like we really level each other out. And the thing that I don't like the most is that because of our fucked up proportions, when we sit down, we're the exact same height. Because I have these long, slender legs and you have these little stumps.
Yeah, our torsos are exactly the same, except when you stand up, your legs just go on and on.
Yeah, I just go whoop, and I just keep going
for seven,
higher than
exactly 7 more inches than mine do, I suppose.
Yeah, I got a little spider-like body. Spindly little fingers, weak little ankles, and quivering hands.
All my bones made out of glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time I wake up, I taste metal.
Yeah.
Yeah, did you know that?
Me? Short and stout. And strong. Like a cube, actually.
Yeah, like a perfect cube, actually. That's a really good way to put it. Boxy.
I love it. Alright, we are nearly out of time.
Yeah, I was just about to say that. We this is probably one of our most laid back podcasts because we only talked about 2 things. But but we sure did eat up the clock. We really did.
Yeah. Well,
but you know what?
You fucking enjoyed it.
You know what? It's good that we ate up the clock because we replied to the one email because it's slim pickings over here, guys. We are getting emails, but they are questions that we've answered before, or the questions that we've already said that, hey, we appreciate the questions and we really want to help you guys, but there are certain things we just cannot talk about on the show. One of them is that if you're dealing with anything relating to any kind of heavy mental health issue where the obvious answer is you should seek professional help, you got to seek professional help, and you can't rely on us. It would be irresponsible for us to give advice on something like that when our advice should just be, please seek professional help, and we wish you all the luck in the world.
Yeah. Please know that we empathize and we wish you so much luck and everything like that. But we are just not the people to ask.
Yeah, we are not therapists, as you hear constantly every week on the show, and what we talk about. We either go to therapy or have been to therapy lots in the past, and we ourselves are not therapists, and we wish you all the luck. So we can't do anything like that. What's another one we don't like receiving?
How do I make my long distance relationship work?
Yeah, that's another one.
We get quite a few of those, and the answer is, I don't know.
Yeah, the answer is rabbit.
The answer is start a podcast, I guess.
Yeah, that's our first plug. Go to Rabbit and watch Netflix together and talk and watch movies together. It's fun. It's cool. Play some video games together. Get
a Switch.
Get a couple Switches. Play Stardew. That's how you do it. Another classic one is how do I create art? That's another one from people being like, I really want to be an artist, but like I don't know how to. I don't know what instrument is the guitar. I just haven't figured it out yet. And I'm just like, they're like right at the beginning of their everything. And they're like, how do I make art? And we're just like, bro, what? Give us an actual. And also, no, just go make it. Like, this is such a bad question. This is such a. I don't know how to answer this. You just.
We did give some genuinely good advice in some earlier episodes.
It's true.
About starting to make art and how you should just start making it now. I believe that was the title of the episode. Was you gotta start now. So go listen to those.
Yeah. But despite
and
that,
then come back with a specific question.
Yeah, because that's what I was going to say. Despite that, half of our questions are still people just being like, "Cool, okay, yeah, but how do I do it?" I'm like, "Oh my god, what the fuck? Just what? No, tell us about your pickles. We want to know the very particular problems that you are in. You've heard previous episodes. You heard this episode. We like hearing about the weird.
You've at least heard this episode.
Hey, if you're listening to this now, try and argue that you've heard it. So, continue sending questions like this. These are what we like to receive.
We love them. We love the pickles and the cucumbers and the assorted things like that.
Hey, speaking of our emails, let's do one really quick shout out to Daniel who wrote us one more email. And there isn't. Where am I? Where is this? What is he? There's so many emails here. Daniel, more or less, and correct me if I'm wrong, was saying like, "Hey, thank you for including my audio in the last episode. I didn't think Mitch would actually do that, and I got really embarrassed that he actually did. Please know that I'm not a real weirdo in real life. I'm a normal man."
Yeah. But the actual quote is I want to. Daniel says, "I want to acknowledge how creepy I sounded in that recording. I promise I don't sound or speak like that all the time. I was playing a character." So yeah, we just like to clear Daniel's name.
Yeah,
and
that's good.
He's probably not going to murder us.
Yeah,
but if we do turn up dead, do question him.
I mean, go to him first. But we halfway knew that he was doing a bit before, but he was doing such a goddamn good job that we even were just like, it's kind of weird audio, to be honest. It's a bit fucking creepy. But we played it anyway because we thought that it was genuinely funny. And we knew that he was doing a bit, and it's good. It's good to have that clarification.
Yes, definitely. All right. Also, talking of our email is where you can write us is
all the space in between at gmail.com. If you would like to hear any of these episodes, or you want links to our social sites, or you want anything like that, you just want to visit our website is
allthespaceinbetween.com.
Very good.
That's right, we nabbed it. We got the domain.
We did it. No one wanted allthespaceinbetween.com, but it's so short and it's so fucking memorable. You know what's funny? I am actually happy that we didn't have to have one of those websites that are just like all the space in between podcast.pod or something, you know?
Yeah.
It is a .com. It is just the name of our show, and that actually does make me happy.
Nice and easy to remember.
It's very, very cool.
If you remember the name of our show, that is.
Hey, and before we go, I know we're almost at the 50-minute mark, so we're over, but can we just say thank you? I'm going to say thank you on your behalf, and then you can say a bunch of thank yous to the patrons.
Yes. Amazing. I actually posted a little something today, which was Sunday, saying thank you to all the patrons. The response that I got in the first week of launching my Patreon has been honestly like overwhelming, and it makes me so happy to think about every single day, and it means so much to me. And thank you to everyone who heard last week's podcast and actually went to my Patreon and signed up. It means a ton. Thank you so much.
It's really cool. It's really, really heartwarming to even see, because I know that you make amazing art, and I'm really excited for these zines. And even before the first one is out, you got people willing to support this thing because they believe in you. And I think that after you release your first one, you actually have pictures and a PDF, and you can post screenshots of what it looks like and stuff. You're going to get even more patrons because people are going to want to. Even when I was hanging out with Alex recently, because he became a patron on like your $3 tier or something like that.
He did. Good friend. Thank you.
He was like, yeah, I eventually want to sign up to the more expensive tiers because I want those zines.
Aww.
Isn't that cool? Very cool, right?
That's really cool. Yeah.
Very, very sick.
Alex.
So yeah, if you haven't checked out Billy's Patreon yet, Again, we encourage you to, you don't have to sign up, you don't have to do anything, it's not going to cost you a single dime just to check it out, but we do want you to watch the video that we made for it because it is very fucking cool.
It's sick.
And also, can I just point out that I did get a comment on YouTube recently from somebody that commented on my Patreon video from like over a year ago, and their comment was something along the lines of, like, your Patreon video is better than that. And I was like, oh, I guess I agree.
Oh my god. Okay, listen. The only reason mine is better is because it had our combined efforts on it, though.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay.
Mine was made very quickly.
Yeah, yours was only you done in a day, and mine was both of us, and, you know, I collected that footage over a long fucking time, so...
But yours is beautiful. Yours is really, really good. And again, to the people listening, as we sign off, I do want to encourage you. That's the only thing that I'm going to, like, really, really plug here is please go check out Billy's Patreon video, at very least. If you go to patreon.com/BLSSM, you can check it out there.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah, that.
Leave me a little comment on the YouTube video if tell me if it's better.
Yeah, maybe just let her know which one is better. And hey, if you really think mine's better, let her know that too, because God knows you aren't holding back on letting me know that hers is.
Anyway, thank you for even checking it out if you do check it out, and thank you times 1,000 to anyone who pledged. It means the world to me, and I'm so excited to be working on the first issue already. It's good stuff.
Okay, we're good. We're signing out.
We are good. Yeah.
Okay. Right. Thank you again for listening to All the Space in Between. My name is Mitch.
I am Billy. Have a great week.
We will talk to you next week.
Yeah. Bye.